We were a political movement and we are a political movement. The character of our movement is not changing. We remain a political movement and we believe that we should remain so for two main reasons. First is that Kosovo is not a proper state with sovereignty and with economic development that would maybe make somebody think that we should become a proper political party. And on the other hand, we are not satisfied with democracy when it is only a representative democracy. Democracy should be also participatory democracy and direct democracy, meaning protests, demonstrations, strikes, petitions, different symbolic actions, and referendum as well for national or local issues which have long-term consequences once the political decisions are there. So our movement didn't change character, we changed our strategy, but not in the sense that we replaced old methods with new, but we supplemented old methods with new methods. Now we will do both, protest and demonstrations on one hand, and we will use institutional means within the same concept and for the same goal. We want Kosovo to become sovereign, not only independent, and that means state building. That means Kosovo becoming a country with freedom for its citizens, with democracy in its institutions. But at the same time, we want Kosovo to become a country with economic development. And
in concrete, what does it mean, this?
Economic development means production. So Kosovo's import is huge and export is very small. Export-import ratio is 1:11, a huge trade deficit, and we believe that economic development should rely upon production. Production is agricultural production and industrial production. I think that this government cannot last very long. There is huge corruption. These are black-mailed leaders. And in one hand, they continue negotiations with Serbia, and on the other hand, they entered into this neoliberal privatization doctrine, where everything they sell very cheap and very fast. And with negotiations with Serbia, the perspective for sovereignty has been narrowed, while on the other hand, with neoliberal privatization, there is a kind of expropriation of the public and society from economic affairs. So they say technical problems, but technical issues can be dimension of the seals of the customs, but cannot be what is written on the seal. So I think these are negotiations with which Serbia wants to get candidate status by the end of the year. So Boris Tadic wins another round of elections next year, and Serbia advances in the path toward EU, so they can condition us one day, just as Greece is doing to Macedonia. On the other hand, they want new Republika Srpska inside Kosovo, and through technical, practical issues, they want these small concessions. So in the end, they get a kind of Bosnian model, where simply they will admit that Kosovo is outside Serbia only at the moment when they have ensured Kosovo and turn Kosovo into dysfunctional. With these negotiations, we are not going to benefit. Serbia will benefit, and I think it's very wrong to negotiate with Serbia and talk with Serbia when Serbia has criminal past and criminal present, and also criminal future because it has anti-Albanian plans. There are 12,000 killed people only in the last war, 1,800 missing persons, 120,000 houses were damaged or destroyed, thousands of women were raped, and there is no regret, no penitence in Serbia. They didn't apologize, they didn't pay for the war damages. They financed parallel structures in Kosovo to undermine independence from within, etc. So I think that we shall not forget the past, and if any concession and compromise that will be done with Serbia, it's a kind of reward for criminal behavior. Establish custom points 1 and 31 with police of Republic of Kosovo. Those should be custom points of Republic of Kosovo. And in the north we should have a plan. In one hand, rule of law, and on the other hand, economic development, which implies a revitalization of Trepča as well. So I think that also we should return the Albanians in the northern Mitrovica who were expelled from there in the year 2000, in the February of the year 2000. 11,364 Albanians were expelled, after 11 were killed in the night between 3rd and 4th of February 2000.
Yeah, but the problem is how?
Well, that's state building, that's sovereignty, rule of law, institutions. You have institutional means and economic development, revitalization of Trepča, which needs to become functional again, and some economic development, but we need political will for that, but not talking to Belgrade. Belgrade is hegemonic. Belgrade created Yugoslavia in order to expand, and Belgrade, Serbia, destroyed Yugoslavia in order to expand. It is us who should return to ourselves, and with countries that recognize the independence of Kosovo, we should ask for help individually from these countries and have a plan for unification of Mitrovica.